Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. It's your host, Delano, on the FanWide Podcast. We're about to break down and give you a recap of the matchup between the Washington Mystics and the Los Angeles Sparks. This game is the 23rd game of the season. So let's get to it. Let's jump through it. This is your trusted voice for Washington Mystic content. So let's go. Let's roll. All right. So, real quick, this was a home game against the Sparks, and we didn't get the victory. Some things, there were some breakdowns, there was some issues, but we were going to try to talk through them. All right. So the score for the game was where'd my score go? Oh man, I'm tripping. All right. So the Washington Mystics, we took the L here. And we got to do better than this. And let's see here. Give me one quick moment. Yeah. All right. So the score was 93-86. And we had moments where we thought we were going to be able to get back into this game, but the Sparks had us pretty much the entire game. So let's give it a recap. So again, this was a battle that occurred in the nation's capital at Care First Arena. And, we thought we were going to be able to get payback from the previous matchup against the Sparks where they just ran us out the gym in LA. And, it didn't go according to plan. I thought we were going to be coming back off of a high from All-Star Weekend since we had 3 players representing the team, which was Brittney Sykes, Kiki Erfin, and Sonia Citron. We just knew, or I just knew, that the Mystics were going to come back and they're going to be ready to play. They were going to be re-energized and ready to go. It didn't quite look that way. It looked like they were still on vacation mode, especially in the first half. So the Sparks came out ultra aggressive. Rickea Jackson went on a crazy point binge. She ended up with 14 of her 22 points in the first half. Dearica Hamby dominated the boards, establishing a paint presence, setting a tone on the defensive end, and she ran the floor. She got out there and she made our players look like they had weights on their feet at certain points in the game. So the Mystics were struggling to be able to contain the Los Angeles Sparks, and they trailed by 11 points by the break. So during the third quarter, Brittney Sykes started getting going. The one thing that we always say is Brittney Sykes needs to get going earlier in the game. So it's good in a way that she didn't wait till the fourth quarter to get going, but Brittney Sykes has to get going from the first quarter, from the beginning. She got to be able to impose her will on the game, right? Because that's going to open up the game and opportunities for other players. If she gets going, because the defensive has to actually account for what she's doing. But, she was able to turn it up in the third quarter. She was able to take it to the rack. She was able to slash to the basket, and she ended up finishing with 18 points for the game. Shakira Austin was steady, like she has been steady all season. 17 points, 6 rebounds. She put on some moves in the paint, right? She got that little spin move that looks so pretty, so good, so dope, and is a highly effective, right? So she was able to do that, but there were instances where the Sparks was blitzing her once she got the ball. They was trapping her in the paint once she got the ball. So she probably could have had like 23, 25 points, right? But that is strategy, right? About what to do when those traps come, right? But I think that if Brittney Sykes was going, right, those opportunities will be a lot easier for Shakira Austin, for Kiki Irvin, and our other post players, right? It's every piece plays a part. So Shakira Austin also got to make a little joke. You can tell she got her hair done, like probably right before the game, because literally she was reds. You know, she got a red hair all the time, red on fire. But that dye or ink or dye from the hair was all over the place, all over headbands, over towels, on jerseys. It was everywhere. So, yeah, hey, that's a woman's thing. Y'all got it. I'm just reporting on it. All right. Let's see here. So late in the game, the Mystics was able to get the lead to within 4 points. And that was under 3 minutes remaining in the game. But the Sparks had their number. The Sparks had the number. All right. So now let's talk through the stats of the game. Because, yeah. Oh. Well, thank you, Summer Breeze. Yeah, I clean up from time to time. Summer Breeze says, nice cut, Delano. Join a little bit late, but always appreciate our trusted voice giving us the latest updates and insights into the game. Thank you, wherever you are. We appreciate you. And thank you for tuning in. I guess I gotta keep these haircuts going. We'll see. Yeah. Appreciate it. Yeah. All right. So now let's talk through these stats. All right. So Sonya Citron had 7 points with 4 rebounds and 6 assists. So that was one thing that I did notice in this game. Sonya Citron didn't get going early. I expected her to shoot a lot better since she is the sister of efficiency. She's normally shooting close to 50% from the field, but she didn't quite live up to what we're known for her to do, right? So she shot 2 of 7, 28% from the field. So that was a tough 33% from 3. So we definitely needed her to do a little bit better. But one of the key things that kept her from getting going and getting into her normal rhythm, she had 5 fouls. Every time you looked up, she was getting a foul. She was playing great, tough defense, but those fouls didn't award her the opportunity to play like she normally would play. And she had to play safe. Kiki Irvin, 13 points. Let's see here. 5 personal fouls. Our rookies got it. We got to do better with that. Only 4 rebounds. It's an okay game, but being an all-star, we expect more than that. All right. Let's see here. Shakira Austin, we've talked about her. She had a stellar game. And yeah, give me 1 second here. Things are getting a little out of whack here. Where'd it go? All right, so got to be able to see everything. All right, so Brittney Sykes had 18 points. We talked about 5 assists, 3 rebounds, and shot pretty well. Of course, we would love for her to hit at least 50% from 3. And let's see here. Sutton did her thing. She hit very clutch 3-pointers. She hit 2 3-pointers. She needs to shoot more 3-pointers. Just like I always say that Sonya Citron needs to shoot more threes, but we need Sugg to shoot more threes too, because she is definitely a sharpshooter. And Stephanie Dawson was shooting that thing as well from 3. She didn't miss one. So everybody pretty much contributed, but we just fell short. We got to do better. We got to do better. All right. So now let's talk about these key things that happen in the game. All right. So, all right. All right. So the team stats here. All right. So the Sparks beat the Mystics on the rebounding. They beat us on assists. We played good defense enough to be able to win the steals battle and the blocks. But if you're not scoring enough, it's just not enough. Right? They shot a better, the Sparks shot a better percentage than the Mystics, but we shot a better percentage from 3. So we probably should have shot more threes in this particular game. I'm an inside out type of guy, but whatever is going the best, that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. Interesting. Points in the paint. We normally beat every team that we play when it comes to points in the paint, but we fell short by 2 points. And fast break points, we barely beat the Sparks. And ironically, the biggest lead that the Mystics had was 16 points, right? So it looked like we was going to be able to take control of this game and get it through, but the Sparks, they had their number. They had their number. When it comes to total turnovers, we turned the ball. We held the ball and controlled the ball better than the Sparks. Typically, that should turn into a victory, but in this particular case, it did. And points off of turnovers, hey, we do well with turning people over and converting those into points. But, we didn't have it today. And even when it comes to our bench had 23 points to the Sparks 13 points. So our bench, the bench mob, did what they were supposed to do. But, the starters, that's the key. That's the key. Starters had 80 points. The Sparks starters had 80 points. And our starters had 63. And we have some of the best scoring starters collectively in the league. We are really good. But if the starters are getting beat up and getting put down, you're not going to win games. So if your starters, if that much of a scoring difference from the starters, then rebound. Our starter, Kiki Arifin and Shakira Austin, typically out rebound everybody. And to see that the Sparks did us in that bad, 29-19, yeah, we gotta question people's. Now I don't want to question people's heart, because they got heart. They got plenty of heart. But you got to question their focus and their drive in that particular game. You know, you're not going to win every game, but, you know, with our rebounders, I expect better. All right. So again, according to the WNBA, the players of the game is Dearica Hamby and Shakira Austin. You know, it was if you have your big shooting 71% from the field, you're gonna have a tough night. In the beginning of the season, the Washington Mystics were giving people that type of issue from our post players. But, you know, I don't know if we're hitting the wall. I don't know if we're hitting the mid-season wall. But, you know, when it comes to All-Star break, you kind of like, hey, you know, you revitalize. You got a break. You can get your treatment. You can do all these different things. But when you don't, you know, come back and produce how we expect players to produce, you be like, yo, what's going on? But again, the Washington Mystics lost 93-86 to the Los Angeles Sparks. And that was last night. That was the 23rd game of the season. And, you know, we wish that we could do a little bit better, you know? But it is what it is. And we'll see what happens because we do have a game coming up on our next game is on Saturday. So we got some time to get back into the lab, try to get things popping, you know, try to figure some things out. And we play Seattle again. And then we play right back again on Sunday. So we have a back-to-back game this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. So it's a 7:30 tip-off and a 6 p.m. tip-off. So, yeah. So these are going to be home games. And then on Tuesday, we play the Chicago Sky. We will be in the building for that game. So, yeah, let's see what kind of content we can pull from that one, you know? All right, so this is your trusted voice, Delano, on the FanWire Podcast. We thank everybody for tuning in. Yeah, we're going to keep this thing going. We'll catch y'all on the next one. So long. Goodbye.